Hi, everybody. Welcome to my Tuesday under 5 minute devotion. And here we take just a few minutes to share from scripture and some thoughts of my own. So appreciate you being along for the ride here. I was thinking about times in my life where maybe things weren't going so great and maybe I was showing signs of it. I wasn't saying that things weren't going so great, but just the way I was acting or whatever was happening in my life kind of showed that. And the times when people were able to say to me, "Hey, are you okay?" Now, I know sometimes people can do that trying to be intrusive or trying to be close to you in a way that maybe they haven't earned or anything like that. But these were people that had earned the right to ask that question. And I think about how much I value now them asking that, just saying, "Hey, are you all right?" It didn't mean that they could fix whatever was going on, or it doesn't mean that somehow that I could tell them all my problems and then they could, with the magic wand make it all better, but just that there was concern and as a fellow human being and as somebody who loved me and they were just able to ask, "Are you all right?" Uh, One of the things I mentioned this last week too is here in these where the days are long. I take walks early in the morning and I see the neighborhood and there are there are signs of some places where maybe things aren't going so great. And if you have eyes to see, you can kind of see that. And it doesn't mean that just because they don't like to mow their lawn or whatever, but it just seems like there's certain places where things are not okay. And I'm kind of thinking through ways that I can, as a neighbor, approach and not trying to fix or not trying to butt into problems, but just to say, "Hey, are you okay? I am, I'm a neighbor. I'm concerned. I want to check in on you." Our Bible verse, I want to share this it's from the very beginning or very early in the scriptures, the story of Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve's sons. And you know the story that Cain kills Abel because he's jealous that God seems to favor Cain over Abel and to favor his offering. And so he kills his brother and tries to hide him in the field. And of course, God knows what's going on. But then God asks the question here. The Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's guardian?" That's Genesis 4:9 in the Common English Bible. And most of us are familiar with maybe the more traditional way of translating that as, whoops, that's not what I want, as, am I my brother's keeper? And so Cain is kind of acting like, well, it's not my business what he's up to. And okay, now in a way that's true. None of us are in charge of another, and another person has freedom, and we can't. It's not like somehow that we have people completely under influence and we can control what they do. Cain, of course, is being evasive. He knows the deal, and God knows the deal. What's really happened, but the question that he asks is penetrating because he's asking it, saying the answer is no, and I think the answer is yes. We are each other's keepers. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean we fix one another. It doesn't mean that we're in charge of one another. It doesn't mean that we can butt in on everything and every problem. But it does mean that we care about each other, that we're together in this world. And as Christians, we care about each other and the people of the world. And so when you see a person suffering near or far, you see the person, unhoused person living on the street, you see the refugee at our borders, and we ask the question, "Am I my brother's or sister's keeper?" And the answer is yes. Now, not that we can fix every problem, not that we can somehow butt into every problem, but should we care? The answer, of course, is yes. So go and be your brothers and sisters keepers in whatever way you can today, whatever way. And it can be just as simple as asking the question, "Are you okay?" So go and do that today in whatever way you can. So peace to you all. Bye bye now.